hopefully we are back. Sorry guys, my PC crashed. Fun stuff. Let's just see if the stream is back up. Can't actually see. It's not great. Okay. Okay. I think we're live again. Yeah, okay, nice. Okay, here we go. Sorry guys, sorry about that. Yeah, like I said, PC crashed. I think my overclocks are a bit high sometimes. Yeah. Now continuing with this earlier, I guess the project wasn't created. So I want to create a new project for this Python package, just so I can check it out how that all works. Want to trust this project? Okay, there we go. Okay, the SDKs. Correct. Let's create a new virtual environment really quickly. Although actually, I'm not sure we need it. We might be fine without one. So let's check. Okay, that's fine. Sorry guys, I'm getting some more messages. Okay, here we go. Let's read this tutorial. Okay. Let's just make sure that Python is updated again. Okay, nice. Python is now updated. Okay, here we go. Let's actually get into it. Sorry, I'm just having a discussion with the team really quickly about how we should schedule these streams. Because I'm saying yeah we can do daily, at least a short stream, but obviously I guess the more interesting stuff is going to be on Sunday. So yeah, we'll see how we do the schedule. Okay, you can see the browser. You can see the important stuff. This tutorial uses a simple project named example blah 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 is me then yeah okay. This ensures that you have a unique package name that doesn't conflict with the packages uploaded by other people following this tutorial. Okay. Following this tutorial as is using this project before packaging your own project. Yeah, okay, sure, that makes sense. We will follow this tutorial, sure. We need this project structure source directory. Another directory named example package, my name, This gets an init file. And an example file. All right. Okay. The direction containing the Python files should match the project name. Directory containing the Python files should match the project name. This simplifies the configuration. It's more obvious to users to install the package. Makes sense. Creating the file is recommended because the existence of an init file allows users to import the directory as a regular package, even if, as in the case of tutorial, init is empty. Okay. Example is an example of a module within the package that could contain the logic, functions, classes, constants, etc. of your package. Open that file and enter the following content. We are creating the most amazing function right here. It can add 1 to a number, which is pretty insane actually. I mean, you can do a lot with that, let's be honest. You actually can. If you're unfamiliar with Python's modules and import packages, take a few minutes to read over the Python documentation for packages and modules. Once you create the structure, you'll want to run all of the commands in this tutorial within the packaging tutorial directory. Okay. You will now add files that are used to prepare the project for distribution. When you're done, the project structure will look like this. You have a license, a pyproject.toml, readme, and the source and some tests. Okay, creating a test directory. As a placeholder for test files, leave it empty for now. Okay. And this is in parallel to the source directory. Tests. Okay, choosing a build backend. Tools like pip and build do not actually convert your sources into a distribution package, like a wheel. That job is performed by a build backend. The build backend determines how your project will specify its configuration, including metadata, information about the project, for example, the name and tags that are displayed on PyPy, and input files. Build backends have different levels of functionality, such as whether they support building extension modules, and you should choose one that suits your needs and preferences. You can choose from a number of backends. This tutorial uses Hatchling by default, but it will work identically with setup tools, Flit, PDM, and others that support the project table for metadata. Okay. Some build backends are part of larger tools that provide a command line interface with additional features like project initialization and version management, as well as building, uploading, and installing packages. This tutorial uses single-purpose tools that work independently. Okay. Makes sense. The pyproject.toml tells build front-end tools like pip and build which backend to use for your project. Below are some examples for common build backends, but check your backend's own documentation for more details. I don't know. I guess we can use UV. I have it installed. Yeah, sure. Let's use UV. Okay, the pyproject.toml file. pyproject.toml. This contains the build system table. Requires UV build. Just installing UV build. Okay, perfect, we have that. And then we want a build backend, which is UV build. Great. The requires key is a list of packages that are needed to build your package. The front end should install them automatically when building your package. Front ends usually run builds in isolated environments, so omitting dependencies here may cause build time errors. This should always include your backends package and might have other build time dependencies. The minimum version specified in the above code block is the one that is introduced support for the new license metadata. Interesting. The build backend key is the name of the project, a Python object that frontends will use to perform the build. Both of these values will be provided by the documentation for your build backend or generated by its command line interface. There should be no need for you to customize these settings. Additional configuration of the build tool will either be in a tool section of the PyProject.toml or in a special file defined by the build tool. For example, when using setup tools as your backend, additional configuration may be added to a setup.py or setup.config file specifying setup tools. Build meta in your builds allows the tools to locate and use these automatically. Configuring metadata. Open PyProject and enter the following content. Change the name to include your username. This ensures that you have a unique package name that doesn't conflict with packages uploaded by other people following this tutorial. Okay. So what, you're not supposed to enter this stuff? If I delete this, is there a way to create this in PyCharm? Let's just check that out. Let's just continue along. Okay. So, I guess I can just copy paste all of this over here into the PyProject file. Okay, name is the distribution name of your package. This can be any name as long as it only contains letters, numbers. Yeah, okay. It must also not already be taken on PyPy. Be sure to update this with your username for this tutorial, as this ensures you won't try to upload a package with the same name as one which already exists. Version, sure. Authors, description. README requires Python classifiers. What are classifiers? Gives the index and pip some additional metadata about your package. In this case, the package is only compatible with Python 3 and is OS dependent. Okay. You should always include at least which versions of Python your package works on and which operating systems your package will work on. For example, for a complete list of classifiers, see the classifiers. License is the SPDX license expression of your package. License files is the list of glob paths to the license files relative to the directory where PyProject.toml is located. URLs lets you list any number of links to show on PyPy. Generally, this could be to the source, documentation, issue tracker, etc. Okay. Continuing on from that, see the PyProject toml guide for the details on these and other fields that can be defined in the project table. Other common fields are keywords. I'm so sorry, guys. Other common fields are keywords to improve discoverability and the dependencies that are required to install your package. Creating README. readme file. .d, and this just gets this content, sure. Creating a license for every package upload to the package index to include license. This tells users who install your package, the terms under which they can use your package. For help picking a licensee, yeah, I mean, sure, we can just take this license. And the license file should be called just license, I guess. License. Most build backends automatically include license files and packages. See your backend's documentation for more details. If you include the path to the license and license files key of prior project, your build backend supports this, and the file will automatically include it in the package. Okay. Including other files. The files above will be included automatically in your source distribution. If you want to include additional files, oh my god. Include additional files, see the documentation for your build backend. Generating distribution archives. The next step is to generate distribution packages for the package. These are archives that are uploaded to the Python package index and can be installed by pip. Make sure you have the latest version of PyPay's build installed. Okay. Got another message. Okay, nice. Yeah. Python-m. Well, I mean, yeah, we ran this earlier. Nice, now we have build, I guess. So for the same directory where PyProject is located, okay. Python-m build. UV build. Oh. That didn't work. Is my stuff incorrect? Or is the issue that this doesn't work because of UV? I don't know. So the error I'm getting is expected Python module at. So let's Google that. UV build. Okay, so maybe not UV build. Let's try, I don't know, something else. Hatchling, sure. Why not hatchling? Let's install hatchling. Okay. Let's try running that again. Yeah, okay, perfect, worked. We now have a dist directory. So it's a UV issue, okay, well, let's just remove that really quickly. Okay. Including other files, okay, yes, we have these. the tar.gz file is a source distribution, whereas the .wheel is a build distribution. Newer pip versions preferentially install build distributions, but will fall back to source distributions if needed. You should always upload a source distribution and provide build distributions for the platforms your project is compatible with. In this case, our example package is compatible with Python on any platform, so only one build distribution is needed. Okay. Uploading the distribution archives. Finally, it's time to upload your package to the Python package index. The first thing you'll need to do is register an account on test.pypy, which is a separate instance of the package index intended for testing and experimentation. It's great for things like this tutorial, where we don't necessarily want to upload the real index. To register an account on... Okay, let's register an account. I'm going to quickly hide my screen for this. I will be right back. Name, email address, username, I guess. And we need a new password. Sure, we can do that. Ooh, please drag the delicious food to feed the dog. That's an interesting captcha I've never seen before. Okay, well, that was very fast. And here you go again. You'll also need to verify your email address before you're able to upload any packages. Okay, let me just quickly verify that. Email verification, click this link to verify. Perfect. To securely upload your project, you'll need a PyPy API token. Create one at setting the scope to entire account. Don't close the page until you've copied and saved the token. You won't see the token again. 1 second, I'm gonna have to definitely hide the screen for this one. Add API token. Must be enabled. Okay, we need 2FA. 1 second, I'll be right back. I mean, yeah, it makes sense, right? Add that password. And let's add a 2FA. Wait. I love the QR code solutions to this problem. It's so much faster. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I didn't anticipate that you have to have a two-factor authentication enabled. Ay. why is this such a not great process? Oh. Oops. Yeah, I should have read the instructions. There we go. Okay, nice. Now it's working. Right, going back to the original thing that we actually wanted to do, creating this repo. Right, creating an an API token. Let's just change the start reader mode thing. I'm gonna have my screen hidden again for this one. Account settings, API token. This has entire account scope, and create the token. Copy the token. Okay, we have to install Twine. Sorry, I'm still not going to show my screen because I really don't want to reveal this on stream. A lot of copying and pasting of stuff. Oh, okay. Now we enter the API token. Okay, so I guess that just worked. Perfect. And now we can install this. create a new virtual environment just for testing purposes in here. Let me show you the IDE again. We create a new virtual environment. Yep. Okay. We can then run pip install -- index URL test.pipei.org/simple, no dips, and then example package dash and the username. That's misspelled. Is that correct? Yep, perfect. Nice, seems to work. And now let's test that this works. We just run Python. We can do from example. Can we tab this? No. Okay. Example package. My username. Import example. And then we can do example dot add 1. Is that correct? To 2, which results in 3. Okay, perfect. Yeah, nice. Okay, this works. Congratulations, you've packaged. Okay. Yeah, nice. Okay. Good. Then let's go back to the actual project and open that in a new window. Now, which one can you see? Not the correct one. So let's actually close this one. First, I want to think about what I actually want to show. So, what is this supposed to be able to do? This API, this Python package. Also, do we create a new Python package, like a new folder and entirely new GitHub repo, or do we create it in this thing? I think we're creating it in this thing. Let's just make a directory for that. Python package, and then this will get the same structure as the previous project. So we need a source directory mainly, and then also a tests directory. Well, we don't need the test directory. We only really need the source directory, and then in here we can also have the toml file. Yes, we do want this. Although, yeah, no, this should definitely be uploaded to Python, to GitHub. We need a new README file, which actually this README can just be this README. So in the toml config file, we can just set the relative path to as one above where this is. We can just quickly copy this in. Hatchling is not installed, that makes sense. Pip install hatchling. Okay. And then this is going to be called Mesa Designer. Let's just quickly check on PyPy that this doesn't already exist. I would be very surprised. Yeah. That looks good. Okay. Yeah, nice. Oh, shit. Well, we can delete this token. Nice. Why? Um, yeah. Okay, it's gone. So I think we're fine. Why is the ID not happy? Okay, I think this is just being weird. Mesa Designer version, sure, that's fine. That's also fine. iGEM Munich 2025 Mesa Designer software tool. The README is in one directory above this. That is sure, that works. Let's just say equal to 3.12. It probably doesn't make a difference. It's not currently OS dependent. That's incorrect. We do need this. The license is the same as on GitHub. So I don't know if they accept this as a license. CC-VY-4.0. License works. Create a license file. Actually, the license file can also just be the one that's above this one. So in this we have the license.txt. Homepage of the project, sure, we can just set this to igemmunic.com. Issues, GitHub, issues link. That's probably a good idea. Nice. All right. That should work. Now we actually develop this thing. We need a new init file. Yes, we want to add this. And this has to contain quite a lot of stuff. It would make sense for this to import exactly the same thing as util. So I guess just we can I think we can take all of this and put it in here. Yeah, I know it's duplicate. But this is what it's going to be like. So we definitely need all of this. Then let's create a new class called, or how, I'm currently thinking how I want to set up this entire thing. Because I think I could just copy most of what's in util, and that would be fine. However, the Python project maybe the Python project should, or the Python file. I guess. So what I'm thinking about is right now the init file might be good to, like, it might be good if the init downloads the data right from subdup, at least, and then makes this data available. So I think then we could implement most of the utility functions that the GUI app uses also in this. However, I don't know if that's something people do. If that's actually how it's done, or I'm doing it in a really weird way. Let's check what the internet says. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna not do it this way. I'm gonna create an entirely new project. Because this will get very cluttered otherwise. Like, there's gonna be a lot of duplicate stuff in here. Yeah. Okay, we do want that. Update the license. Still stop me at the readme. Can delete dist. Okay. Yep. I think that should be fine. Now, as for this stuff, I think this can just all go, this entire directory can go. And you can just keep this open as a reference. However, this is going to be the main development window now, so let's open that up instead. that should be this one. Yes. All right. The wow. This thing uses a setup file. So I don't know, but I'm hoping that I can just, let's quickly check if this is the correct. Yes. Let's remove the thing again. I guess we can just do it like this. This doesn't want to work? Okay, wonderful. Then let's do it here. What? Didn't I just install it, or did we already remove it again? I'm confused. Why is this not showing up? Oops. Where did it go? I mean, I know I just installed it, but what happened to it? Huh, interesting. Okay. Anyway, well, who can know? And I think that the init part, so the init is run every time that the package loads, right? So if we just create a quick test here, import test from, yeah, I guess this won't work right now. Mesa designer import example. I wonder if I can just do that way, but so yeah, what we want is the setup script. I think we can just try to copy this because it's, I think it's written only relative, so we throw that in here. Okay. Yeah, that needs a bunch of stuff. Let's, oh, that needs other stuff as well. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna think about how I want to do this. So let's take a short break, and then I will be back in a bit. Bye bye.